like in HVAC and plumbing, it's a lot different because we want return customers all the time. We want them calling us with any little noise they hear, anything just to get us back in the house and be in front of that homeowner is a positive.
How are you guys using the idea of hand-to-hand combat in both of these businesses?
It wasn't the most profitable. Yeah, we were moving a lot of volume, had a lot of employees and everything like that, but it just wasn't the right way to grow.
Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the HVAC Hustle Podcast. And today I've got Nick Thelen from Thelen Mechanical, and the roofing company name one more time.
Boulder Creek Construction.
Boulder Creek Construction. So we're talking about HVAC and plumbing versus roofing and the differences between those two business models. I am curious, though, first and foremost, just a little bit about your background and how you got to this point. If you could give me that in a few minutes.
Yeah, I started out, grew up in Rogers, Minnesota, pretty small town at that point. Graduated high school in 2008, got into the trades at that point. Started as a plumber. Long story short, obviously, we all know what happened in 2008 with the recession. So ended up going to trade school for HVAC, and since then, I went to Dunwoody actually, Minneapolis there. And since then, I've been doing service and install for plumbing and HVAC stuff.
I love it. That's a great move. And learn from him in a recession. Just go back to school.
Yeah.
I think I did the same thing. So why add on the roofing company? Having the HVAC company, what made you really want to do this?
I have a very, very close friend of mine I grew up with. He's very, very knowledgeable with all the insurance, roofing, all that kind of stuff. What I could bring to the table is putting more of like the HVAC, plumbing industries, essentially experience standards into what he was already really, really good at with roofing replacements and working with insurance. So creating a more positive experience for the homeowner.
Yeah, I think I'm learning just, as I'm coming over from roofing, as well as just like how much better the customer service, I think, on average is in HVAC. And you guys, because of the service side of the business, not just the initial install side of the business, there's just this mindset and these systems around the service.
Right. Yeah, and like in HVAC and plumbing, it's a lot different because we want return customers all the time. We want them calling us with any little noise they hear, anything just to get us back in the house and be in front of that homeowner is a positive. And roofing, really, you wait till the next hailstorm, you reach out to your previous client list. They may not live there. We want to know if they're moving in HVAC because we want to maintain their next house.
Yeah.
So putting that twist on everything has been, it's a constant work in progress, right? But we definitely have some very, very happy homeowners.
I love to hear it. And it is crazy because you said you're going to be at like 7 or 8 million.
Yep.
And this is basically
first full year. Yep.
Extraordinary. If you're on the HVAC plumbing side and you're looking over, that would be extraordinary on HVAC plumbing side as well, right? You just learned a lot of stuff and you've applied it from the other business.
Yeah, I learned what not to do, and then was able to come here with a clear mind. And
you probably had a little bit of an investment to begin with as well,
100%.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the hardest part about running a roofing company versus an HVAC and plumbing company?
So seasonal. I don't know how to shut off. So when my go mode's on, it's 110 miles an hour. And same with my business partner, Billy, on the roofing industry or roofing side. He's the exact same way. So coming into this time of year where it's now middle of October, knowing we're not going to have much to do here for 5-6 months, that's going to be the biggest struggle, I guess, for me.
Can you just go over to the other office and just work your butt off over there?
Exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Well, it's always nice. I also say, I was just talking to a roofing company owner before I got here, and I was talking to him about sowing and reaping. If you talk about business development, I just told him to start sowing because he's like, well, it sucks because I'm kind of coming out. He has this period of apathy. He's basically a multimillionaire already, but he's just starting this roofing company, and he's almost like annoyed that he's not more motivated.
Right.
But if you have a couple million in the bank, it's just not as it's not as scary. Sometimes fear is a good motivator.
Right.
And so I told him, like, first of all, I told him, aren't you upset when somebody gets a second-rate service from another roofing company?
Well, that's...
right? Like, that's just upsetting, right? Like, use that. And then I said, go have a lunch every single weekday with somebody else that could refer. I said, I don't think you're right for working with Hook Agency yet. I want you to be more fucking on fire, to be honest with you. I want people that are on fire a little bit. And then I think you should go sow during this period of like winter. He's in the Midwest as well. Sow by going and taking every like insurance agent, not every, but an insurance agent, realtors, and other home service business owners out for lunch just for 20 weekdays in a row. So that was my prescription for him. Like, sometimes, like, you cannot beat hand-to-hand combat.
You can't.
How are you guys using the idea of hand-to-hand combat in both of these businesses?
HVAC and plumbing's a little different. We work with water restoration companies that, obviously use us for drain services, emergency, where they have a basement flooding, water pipe break, something like that. We're in contact with those guys a lot. They do that where they don't ever eat lunch alone. Mm-hmm. So their motto with that is actually, if you're eating lunch alone, you're not doing something right. Mm-hmm. Bring one of your contractors out, potential client, buy somebody lunch every single day is their motto. And HVAC industry, we spend a lot of time with our suppliers. Getting to know I actually go to lunch quite a bit with other HVAC contractors. Yeah. Locally here.
Do you guys refer each other business?
It all depends on what it is. We more or less want to make sure we're all on the same page with like our pricing, quality of service we're all providing. Because like you said, having another customer of yours maybe didn't have a great experience with you, but if you can also help make their experience better with somebody else, it might not make you look the best, but at least they're getting taken care of.
And what would you, for those home service business owners that aren't in that mindset around collaboration, sounds like you're in the mode of dominate, don't compete. How could you encourage other home service business owners to get more in that mindset? Like when you're early on, when you're in that 1 and 2, you think you're competing with everyone. How do you put your ego away?
Oh, you got to be humbled.
Yeah. By what? What were you humbled by? Tell me. Yeah, okay.
Mainly, one of the guys I used to work for let me know early on, like, hey, don't make these mistakes. And I did my best to like not let them happen. And I'd go to lunch with him every week or whatever. Or I talked to him almost daily.
He was a bigger HVAC guy than you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably somewhere north of 30 million at this point. Him and I don't really talk. I mean, he'll help me if I need help or got questions or whatever, but
he assumes you're good at this point.
He's mentored me enough.
Okay.
So
and at a certain point you're like, your mentee is like starting to be a competitor a little bit. You're like, I can't sit there and like baby you at this point. You're good.
But that was
how'd you find that guy, by the way?
I actually worked for him.
Okay. And he, after you went out on your own, he continued to be useful to you. That's awesome.
So
that's a beautiful thing.
What he does is he teaches the most valuable team in your business. He'll just add nothing but profit.
There's so much money left in the call center. So much money. If you're not at a 90% booking rate, showing empathy on the phone, smiling on the phone, making sure they're having a better day after they got off the phone with you, then you need to call Power Selling Pros and see Brigham.
So I quit working for him as soon as my daughter was born. I didn't like the far drive to St. Paul every day. So more time at home with the kids, or you know what I mean? Like sit in the car for 2-3 hours a day wasn't fun.
Yeah. So talk to me about this. Okay, so we added the roofing company and you've got other investments going on. How are you thinking about investing in other businesses or like home, like what else do you got going on? Are you doing any property or what else?
Not at this time.
So this is the main other investment is Boulder Creek.
Yeah, I put all the bets on myself. So
I love that. I like the ability to control things. That's nice that you can control how this investment goes.
Correct.
How do you split your time between the two businesses right now?
Taylor and Andy and Dan pretty much run next door.
Yeah.
they get a lot of my attention during the winter when roofing's not going on. Summertime, I mean, I help out when needed, and I mean, I'm spend all day on Service Titan. I got Aculinks and Service Titan up all the time, so sitting there watching, just make sure.
What do you like better between Aculinks or Service Titan?
Service Titan's way better.
Okay.
Aculinks too. It can't do.
Do you think Service Titan is trying to make a play in roofing? Do you think that they'll come over at all?
Oh, I think so.
Do you
They're
think
just so much more geared towards retail compared to like insurance.
Okay, so you don't think they'll make headway into the insurance side?
They got the resources.
They'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Aculinks is not to speak ill of them. I think they're the best CRM in roofing right now.
I totally agree.
100%. I don't think you should necessarily go with the flimsy second best or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're the big dog, and they haven't been very collaborative with other softwares. Right. So the connections.
Yeah. Service site can just do so much.
And then once you go to that higher level of this is developed. From what I understand, Service Titan has been. It's a beast.
Yeah.
It's just it hasn't done roofing yet. So now once it does, Aculinks was the beast in roofing, but it could get easily slapped out of the air.
I mean, I think they both have something to learn from each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? But it's Service Titan is something I've been using for 10 years now. So
yeah.
Kind of grew up on it, I guess.
That's cool though. You got you've got the two main things up on, and you're thinking about them.
Yeah, split my windows and away they go.
I think that people could learn from you in that you've got leaders in the business and you've stepped away from the business, right? Working on the business, not necessarily in the business.
Correct.
How did that go originally, and what problems did you face with that?
I worked way too much in it.
Yeah.
And we were growing, but not in my opinion, the best way.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most profitable. Yeah, we were moving a lot of volume, had a lot of employees and everything like that, but it just wasn't the right way to grow.
And how did you make that switch? Because you brought it down in size a little bit, but you brought it up in profit.
Yes.
And what did you do? What were your moves that you made?
Pretty much worked with a lot more homeowners.
Yeah.
Versus we were doing a mix of new construction, like building homes, and then end service, but we couldn't get to the service clients if all the guys were tied up. We would get really busy on new construction, and then obviously things would get even busier, and then we couldn't get to the what I call the money calls.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to those doing a non-money call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we had deadlines there. You're messing with people's homes. They can't move in if your stuff's not done. You got people breathing down your neck. Where you can actually have less employees, but always do money calls.
So you started to have to say no to builders?
Yes.
Yep. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
You started saying no, and then
we
you started
were doing
more.
$3+ million in new construction a year.
Mm.
So we just said we're going to part ways.
Well, there you have it, folks. To say no to get further.
Mm-hmm.
Start creating boundaries and start doing what you're the best at and what makes you money.
Yeah, and that's what we're really good at. Our niche is, definitely service.
So electrical's up next. You got the drain cleaning is growing, it sounds like.
Yep, we just added that in November.
Awesome. Anything else you want to share? Let's say if it's a newer HVAC plumbing business, 1 to 5 million or something, what would you share with them that might be useful?
Learn from your mistakes.
That's simple but good. And then I do have couple. I've got a little section I like to call hot takes and cold trends. What's a hot take that you have in the HVAC and plumbing industry that maybe a lot of people would disagree with, but you strongly believe?
I don't know. I'll keep my heating guys busy by doing plumbing if plumbing's busy. Plumbing guys busy doing heating if it's not busy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I cross-train very heavily. A lot of guys don't like that.
Yeah.
They want their heating guys doing what heating guys do and plumbers doing what plumbers do. So
Totally.
I like to cross train as much as possible.
What about cold trends, places where people are investing time, effort, money that you believe is like a waste of time, or people shouldn't be spending time on it?
Listening to others.
Okay.
Just listening to others way too much, like, you know, friends or family trying to influence you one way or another. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to figure out what works best for you. They might not know what works best for you. And especially business, you know, if they're not in business themselves, they just watch way too much HGTV or something. And they're like, no, you got to do it this way.
Yeah. And there's Money in the Phones by Power Selling Pros. And if you do not have somebody training your CSRs, check out powersellingpros.com. And Nick, what's a tip that you have around answering your phones or phone systems that you'd strongly recommend for folks?
I personally go to you a lot. I try to, if I have good service from a server, I try to hire them.
All right.
Because, yeah, then you can tell.
You know their customer service. Yeah.
That's how I hired her.
Awesome. I love it. You heard it here, folks. There's Money in the Phones. Check out your servers. Wait.
Yeah.
Not check them out. Pay attention to how good your servers are and hire them when they're awesome. I love that. Yeah. Bring people from outside the industry. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been another episode of HVAC Hustle. It might be called HVAC and Plumbing Hustle. I think I might change it. But grateful for you being on. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
Yes, sir.